I've been saying it for well over a year now, and I'll say it again. The game has changed in the Philippines now, with many more Filipinas demanding payment for meeting up with them. Okay, I hear you, Billy Big Bollocks, you never have to pay. And I hear your mates too, who say, you always have to pay for it in one way or the other. Sure, I don't mind whining and dining a lady at Jollibee before jumping in the sack. But I've never been comfortable paying directly for it. Handing over money to get jiggy is a little too transactional. Call me old-fashioned or delusional, but I'd like to think a Filipina is with me for my infectious personality rather than my personality.
Hello, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Big World Cinema. Without further ado, we'll continue with what you're here for.
I'm back in Cebu now, with Filipinas asking silly money for a few hours of bedroom action from 5,000 pesos to 20,000 pesos. No joke! And obviously some idiots are paying these prices, and more Filipinas are asking for cash injections. There was a time when you'd choose a dating app in the strong belief that it was a better option than others. But each of the dating apps now are as bad as each other. And you should certainly not trust the opinion of any YouTube vloggers who are paid by dating apps to promote them and say how wonderful they are. This video is sponsored by The Dregs, a dating website for those who nobody wants, who stand a chance of getting laid. OkCupid was once quite a decent app with educated women, similar to Bumble, but now just attracts undesirables. Filipinas who leave their Telegram number in their profile, and once you've connected there, want to sell you their content. I'm not interested in that, I say. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got a Telegram account too. Let's see if I can try and sell some of my soiled boxer shorts. Let's start the bidding at 1,000 pesos. Back in Cebu, I actually purchased a month on Pina Love for $25, so I didn't have to wait 10 minutes to send a message. Previously, I'd say, I'm not a premium member here, so won't respond to messages that are banal, boring or brief, to which they'd respond, hi. So initially, when I switched to premium membership, there was a burst of activity, and I thought, wow, signing up for a subscription is a game changer. But then I realised the only difference is being given the opportunity to message more Filipinas and have faster, mind-numbing conversations. For those of you unfamiliar with Pina Love, there's an option for Filipinas to show interest in you by clicking the like button, like on Facebook or YouTube. And you get all excited thinking, wow, I can't believe this attractive single mum with big jugs and shite tattoos is interested in an old git like me. They're not really interested in you, Dumbo. They're just hookahs who've zoned in on sad, senile old gits offering you a special deal. It's like in my photography days 10 years ago back in the UK, when I was on model websites where models and photographers would connect to work together. The model would tick a box saying, like to work with you, like showing interest on Pina Love. So you'd contact the model who'd say, yeah, I love your work. It'll be great doing a photo shoot with you. I charge 30 quid an hour. I knew one photographer who'd fall for their scam every month, but he was also paying me 30 quid an hour to rent my photographic studio from me, so I wasn't exactly in a rush to point out he was being led on by these models. Prices to get jiggy in the Philippines were even less than hiring my photographic studio for an hour. A few years ago, a Filipino would ask for 1,000 or 1,500 pesos. But as I said, now they're asking for 4,000. Although, when I query that, the price immediately does drop to 2,000. When I was in Manila earlier this year, one Filipino wanted 15,000. 15,000 pesos is like $260. I almost choked on my half portion of rice. Politely, I declined her kind offer by telling her I could get 15 hookahs for that. "I'm not a hookah," she replied. "I'm a student." Right. You'll find many Filipinas who are apparently students who can't afford their exam or course fees, but need the money now to be entered now so they can be entered for their exam. I recently published a video about Filipinas seeking guys with provider mindset. Whether you're paying a Filipina an allowance of 20,000 pesos each month to be your girlfriend, or wanting someone to come over for 2,000 or 3,000 pesos short time, is exactly the same arrangement, in my opinion. Call it what you will. Some Filipinas will be upfront on their profile saying they're up for fun. Fun being the term nowadays for bedroom action. So be careful when you use that harmless word fun nowadays, as it could get you into lots of trouble. Other Filipinas are less direct. There's lots of newbies on the dating websites, fresh on the market, who've decided they don't want to give their booty away for free, or been advised by their mates to go on the dating website and exchange their services for cash. But they can't come straight out and say they're hookahs. They say they're not ready for a serious relationship yet, just want to have fun. Which of course comes at a price. Part-time hoes. On my first week back on Pina Love, I probably chatted to 3 who suddenly required payment. "Have you met a foreigner before?" I asked. "No, I'm scared." After an hour of mind-numbing conversation, they'll drop the bombshell. "Actually, I want payment." "What? Why didn't you tell me that an hour ago and not waste my time?" "I was too shy." "Ah, the shy hookah. That's a first." One Filipina's profile said, "Looking for something special. Hit me up. Let's build a good connection." She liked me, naturally. As we started chatting, she said, "I'm not looking for a serious relationship." Obviously, I knew where this was heading. For now, is some casual fun. Been to breaking up weeks ago. So I'm not yet ready to build again. Now, as my regular viewers will know, a lot of the conversations I have with Filipinas online is for your benefit. Not mine. For journalistic purposes only. To see or hear what their intentions or demands are. "What do you want?" I asked. "It's up to you what you want and what you can," she said. Whatever that meant. "I know what I want, but I need to know your price," I replied. "It's up to you how much you can offer." 1,000 pesos, I responded. "Actually, to tell you, I didn't do this before because I was in a relationship for 2 years. Ah, so now she feels she can earn money from her booty as opposed to giving it away to her boyfriend for free. And who can blame her? If I had a hot booty too, I'd do the same. Why do you think I'm doing so many squats each day, damn it?" It's funny how different the Philippines is to a country like Thailand, where you'll find the women there have no problem turning tricks and are upfront and open about it. Going with customers, they call it. One night I was in a bar in Pattaya watching the football, and by the end of the night, when I was trying to order another beer, most of the female staff had disappeared with customers. That included the cashier, the toilet cleaner, the chef. Anyway, I digress. 1,000 pesos, she responds. That's why I asked your price, lol, I responded. 2,500 pesos. It's not okay? I didn't respond. I was just inquiring. If I'm going to spend money on a hookah, I prefer investing in a decent rack. She followed this up half an hour later by, it's not, without a question mark. A few weekends ago, May showed interest in me. Her Pina Love profile reads, Filipina girl looking for love of my life. May was a little chubby. Chubby is the new sexy, apparently. No, it's not. Chubby shows that you're fat and lazy. But anyway, May had a decent rack above her rice gut, so I was willing to see how chubby May was actually in the flesh, so to speak. When I messaged her, May immediately sent me her WhatsApp number, which is normally a good or bad sign. It was late, so I messaged her on WhatsApp the following morning, Saturday. May asked what I was up to. "Just chilling in my condo," I replied. "Oh, could be better if I join you while chilling," said May. "That sounds like a good idea." "But I do have work. I'm willing to risk it and join you if you will compensate my hours instead." "Okay, how much compensation do you want?" I asked. "Is it okay if you compensate my daily rate at work for 3,000 pesos? We will have a happy ending." "Wow, where do you normally work for 3,000 pesos? I asked, knowing that the average daily wage for many Filipinos is more likely 500 pesos, with a monthly wage being around 15 to 25,000. "I am working as a supervisor in BPO company in IT Park. I've been working hard for this role and wages. So tell me, what's your plan so that I can inform my boss ahead of time and make some excuses?" So instead of going to work for a full day and get paid 3,000 pesos, May wanted to come over, give me a happy ending, get paid 3,000 pesos and have the rest of the day off. "No thanks, I don't pay for it," I replied. "That's okay," May responded, knowing full well there'd be plenty of other guys in Cebu who'd take up her kind offer and guarantee her a quarter of a day in bed rather than a full day in the office. So much for looking for the love of her life. May was really just after $60 for a quickie. So if you like what you're seeing here, hello, and want to stay connected with life in the Philippines, I think you need to subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you. As I said at the start of this video, I'm not keen on paying for bedroom action, and fortunately I haven't had to pay for it very often. Over the years I've paid for ladies in Hong Kong, Burma, Cambodia, Cuba and Thailand. For most of these encounters I had my beer goggles on and ended the night with a dodgy bird I should never have wasted my money on. The most expensive being a lady in Hong Kong with an incredible rack who probably earned the fastest $100 she ever earned. I was in and out within a couple of minutes, having quickly shot my load. Didn't even give her a chance to blow me before I'd blown $100. When I first arrived in the Philippines 5 years ago, I was in the dark about prices and what you should or could pay, as most vloggers had made out you won't ever need to pay for it here, as just walking down the street, Filipinos will prostrate themselves at your feet for free. So my first introduction to paying for it was quite an unpleasant experience, actually. I think it was my second day in the Philippines when a young Filipina came to my condo in Cebu. She was around 26, said she needed money to pay her rent. I can't remember how much she wanted, but she wouldn't go the whole hog. As she was blowing me, she kept gagging, so I told her to go away and learn how to give head if you want to do this job professionally. Gave her 500 pesos to disappear, which was far too much. Not realising at the time that 500 pesos is like a day's wage to many Filipinas. On a couple of occasions I'd meet someone. The requests for payment came afterwards. One Filipina I met online, then arranged to meet in IT Park, went for food and drinks, had great chemistry with, then went back to my condo and stayed the night. Then the following morning kept talking about the fact her rent was due, which I ignored. Another Filipina who I actually met in the flesh in Davao, and not on a dating website for once, came to my Airbnb where we cooked food together before getting jiggy, and just before she left asked for money to buy her son a birthday cake. So I gave her 500 pesos. She asked for a little bit more, so I gave her another 150 pesos. I know how to treat a lady. I guess being presented with an invoice afterwards is better for me psychologically than being told beforehand that you're going to be paying for it. Although a little annoying on the realisation that she wasn't actually riding me for free for my ageing looks alone, but wanted compensating for assisting with my prostate's health. But this has also happened to me in Thailand. I met a girl in Phuket on her night off from her night job in a bar who took me to a beach on her scooter the following morning, and she said she forgot to inform me the previous evening that she worked in a bar and wanted payment. No, honey, that's too bad. That's not how it works. You should have been more professional with your business model before we got jiggy. The only time I directly paid for it with a Filipina was in Cebu a couple of years back. She lived in Lapu-Lapu with her 2 kids, and we'd been messaging each other for a while on Pina Love. Eventually, we agreed to meet up at my condo in Cebu, and she drove her motorbike in the monsoon rain from Lapu-Lapu to meet me in Mabolo. Not that she'd updated the original pics she'd sent me 2 years earlier of her fit young body, which didn't resemble the way she looked now after she'd had 2 kids. Before she left home, she'd agreed to shave her lady garden, but on arriving at my condo, she lifted her skirt to show pubic hair, spreading like wildfire out the side of her panties, asking to borrow a razor as she couldn't find one at home. I can't believe I still managed to get it up. And I paid her 1,000 pesos for her troubles, or to keep her in razors for a couple of weeks, and to give me nightmares about being trapped in a forest ever since. Prior to that, I received numerous requests for cash donations for services during lockdown, one of whom was Mariska, a very attractive lady who I'd met on Dating Asia, then continued chatting with on WhatsApp. She lived nearby, asked where I lived and whether I lived alone. All alone, no girlfriend, I said. Okay, she said, adding 3 kissing memes. Mariska told me she was single, no boyfriend, had kids, and sent an image of her 2 pretty young daughters. She said times were tough and she needed urgent financial assistance. Are you going to help me out? Asked Mariska. How much do you want? I replied. Seriously? 4,000 pesos. That will last for 2 weeks. Tell me what's going to be my return for you. Or 1,500 pesos, short time price. Right, so you do this regularly? Yes, to live. I don't have a boyfriend or husband. I'm a single mother. Okay, bye. Huh? Are you going to meet me up or not? It felt weird that Mariska had sent me pics of her 2 daughters, like an introduction to her family, as if she wanted a relationship, not wanting money for a quickie as a pay girl. I didn't respond to her. Of course, some Filipinas object to being called pay girls and would rather be referred to as companions, even though they're essentially performing the same job. I saw Bernadette's profile on OkCupid before they banned me. She'd also listed her Insta account, so I messaged her there. You'll find that with a lot of Filipinas, he'll say, "Not active here, message me on my Insta." So I did, and we exchanged texts. Although, as with many Filipinas, getting them to respond with any enthusiasm is like trying to find some meat on chicken feet. I asked Bernadette if she'd dated anyone on OkCupid, and she said she hadn't even opened the app recently. I asked if she wanted to date a foreigner. Nope, she responded. Why did you put yourself on the app then? I inquired. I just try, she said. So are you interested in meeting me or not? I asked. Depends where you stay, if I have money for transportation. Bernadette had a job, only has Saturdays off, was attending a wedding this current Saturday and sent me photographs from the wedding. So we arranged to meet the following Saturday on her next day off. Bernadette was typical of many Filipinas I chat with, whose conversation is often brief, unbothered and disinterested, so I often stop messaging them to see if they messaged me first. The following Monday morning, however, I was shocked to find that Bernadette sent me an early text asking me how I was, then responded saying she wasn't good as she needed money to pay the bills as she's funding her sister's education. Here we go, I thought. At the wedding, Bernadette's friend had suggested that she do hookups, apparently. I said that she shouldn't do that, and she agreed that she wouldn't. Then a few minutes later, Bernadette asked if I'd hook up with her. Said I'd think about it. A week later, I messaged Bernadette asking how she was. Said she was still suffering and sent me her photo. Bernadette's an attractive lady, late 20s, no kids. I asked if she wanted to date me or just have a hookup. I don't know, she responded. I suggested that we meet up. But Bernadette never responded, and that was the last I heard or didn't hear from her. Who knows what happened to Bernadette? Needing to find funds from extracurricular activities to educate themselves or their siblings is quite concerning in the Philippines. I can only imagine that, like many others, Bernadette went down the hook up route. I started chatting with Desiree, who I'd first noticed on Pina Love, flaunting an incredible rack. She was 19, a single mum, obviously, had only given birth 3 months earlier. Said she wanted to experience dating a foreigner, asked if I was staying in a condo and did I want her to visit me there. Sure, I said. Let's Netflix and chill and eat foods, said Desiree. Can you pay for my babysitter? She asked. Yeah, of course. So we continued chatting daily, sending photos, videos and also video calling. Strangely enough, she'd video call me at times that coincided with her baby's breastfeeding time, which, as you know, I'm a sucker for a great pair of breasts, so Desiree certainly caught my attention. Arranging for a time for her to come over to my condo to meet me in person, however, was proving a lot more elusive. I left Cebu, but we continued messaging and sending naughty pics and videos for the next 6 months until I was back in Cebu again, when the conversation returned to her visiting me at my condo. Desiree said she wanted me so bad, but was now asking how much was I willing to give her. Do you want me to give you money every time we meet? I asked. Yeah, you know that I need it. So I let Desiree slide and sadly never managed to succumb to her glorious assets. Just a quick reminder to please click the thumbs up button if you liked the video or thumbs down button if you didn't. Obviously. Thank you. If I were her, I'd have put myself on OnlyFans and earned myself a decent wedge exposing my rack for old gits like me to drool over. But she probably doesn't need that now. She's probably raking in a fortune reselling all the content I sent her over the year whilst I was bashing the bishop. Actually, why haven't I thought of that myself and making the most of my abilities? Forget the pittance I'm earning on YouTube when I could be earning thousands on pay-to-view websites. I've got a new career ahead of me, people, exposing my small tackle online. So long, YouTube suckers. Pornhub, here I come. Sign up for free live membership to The Dregs today. No dates after 5 years? Get your money back. You've been watching Uncle, the man from Bigg World Cinema. Please like, subscribe and share with your friends.